Hello gamers, welcome back to another episode of Solo Spelunking. And tonight I will be continuing my Defenders of the Shadowlands solo RPG, Shadowdark campaign. And it finally arrived, my printed version of my solo RPG framework and toolbox for fantasy adventures. And I will be using this in conjunction with the Defender of the Shadowlands board game, role-playing game hybrid. And if you want to get your hands on these wonderful products, you can pick them up on Drive-Thru RPG. And it always feels great if I hold one of my products in my hands in a printed version. Even though the cover is not pretty, yeah, I still like it. So we will be using this today for our dungeon exploration. So we will start right back in the action. So if you remember, we entered, or for the first time in this game, we entered a dungeon. I've determined that this dungeon has 3 levels. The first level has 10 rooms, and we just entered, and in the very first room, which is an old, abandoned, rotten weapons chamber, we encountered a band of kobolds that are attacking us, that are hiding in the dark, that have made this room their lair. And yeah, so this is where we left off last time, and this is where we will start. So I got the Kobold stats right here, and they're all right out of the Shadowdark core rulebook. And we have 1 Kobold Sorcerer, that is this guy here with his dragon head staff, and the other ones are just regular kobolds, and they're armed with spears. And the Kobold Sorcerer, he can cast 2 spells, and they all have an ability called Dodge, which they can use once a day, which causes an attack that would have hit them to miss. And those normal kobolds, they only have 1 hit point, so if I hit them, they're dead. The sorcerer's got 13 hit points, and they all have AC 13, and they all have the dodge ability. Okay, so and by my custom initiative rules, the players, they get the first turn unless ambushed or surprised. Actually, I will roll if we are ambushed or surprised, because we walked into this room with our lit torch, so torches make it actually pretty hard to sneak. The glow of the light announces you're present usually, and these kobolds are dark adapted. They live underground, they are sensitive to sunlight, so they have definitely got an advantage. So they spot us long before we enter this chamber. So I think they have time to maybe to hide in the shadows, to set up an ambush. So I will be using Elenora's wisdom modifier, and she's got to beat a DC 15. But however, she is a ranger, or she's got the ranger background. I'll give her advantage. And if I hit 15, she spots the kobolds, otherwise we are surprised. Oh, look at this, 18. So her sharp senses can't be fooled. So she sees movement in the shadows. At the edge of the light of our torch, there's movement, and she goes, "Stay alert, we got company." And with that, she puts an arrow onto her bowstring. And so we get the first turn, and my initiative is I go, you go, alternating between sides until all creatures, participants have activated, basically. You know what? Because it is really a hassle with so many pawns with those little cubes, because of this cramped space. I try it once again. I know I never get it right because I always forget to turn a pawn, but I will go by slots. So all those slots facing like this, they have activated. So I gotta, and then I just need to turn this little cardboard marker. So hopefully I remember instead of using those cubes, because actually I bought these cubes in a craft store for like $1 because I always messed this up. But it's like very fiddly if you are in such a confined space with the camera set up and everything. Okay, so Elenora, she will shoot. So she moves backwards a little. Now I turn her, and she shoots at this kobold right here with her bow. I don't need the damage die because unless I shoot at this guy, because every hit kills. +8 versus 13. She still got her luck token. 8 + 4, that is 12. That would be a miss. She's using her luck token. I'm re-rolling that. Still the same shot. Yeah, so 14. So all right, so that was her turn. Now the kobolds. So they only have one spear. So if they throw it, they are not able to attack anymore. So they actually use their spear for close combat. Let me think. They don't have a sling. No. No, they don't. They have a spear that is close, or they can throw it near, but then it's gone. Yeah, so this kobold here, he will attack Lao. He will move up here, adjacent to him. So this is difficult terrain. So I think he was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It counts double, but he can still make it. So I turn him around. Let's get this over here. And attack. It is +0. They used the red die. Lao has an AC of 15. Oh, look at this. He hits 15, but thankfully only for 1 point of damage. So Lao is at 11 hit points. Do I have actually? Yeah. I'm going to use this sheet here. So Reo is full. Lao. That is him, 11. Okay, our turn. All right, so our turn. Lao or Reo. I will use Reo with his master dagger. He will move up. Reo, so he's got the torch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the torch, it illuminates 30 feet, 6 squares. So I got to be careful that I don't move out of the light, or that I don't move too far away so that they are out of the light. So we got to stick together. Dagger. I don't need to roll for damage. Masterwork silvered dagger, +8. 8 + 4, that is 12. AC 13. I miss. I do not have a luck token. So now again the kobold's turn. So this kobold will retaliate because it is next to me. But my AC is 18. that's a 6. So I easily dodge. That was the Kobold. Now our turn again. So Lao, he will just activate and attack first with his unarmed strike. +3. No, excuse me. With his Masterwork Silver Short Sword, +4. Versus 13. Yes, 15. Kobold is dead. And now he can still move. He will move up to Reo so that we stay together. And now it's the remaining kobolds. So here you can see this is there, the floor is crumbled. There's a little hole in the ground, so we can't move through there. We got to go around it. All right, so the kobolds, they can all activate now because I don't have any more characters left to activate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This kobold circles around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And attacks Lao. AC 15. With this little spear. But 13, they attack +0. Lucky me. So no. Okay. This kobold here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Difficult terrain. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moves up. And attacks Reo because they basically want to split up their attacks a little. Or no, actually they want to swarm Lao because Lao looks, they attack him because he looks unarmored, because he's just wearing his monk robes. So they figure they might have a better chance of hurting him. They don't know that he's a well-trained monk. So they want to concentrate on the weak target, but with a 3, no way. But this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And attacks Reo. Because he can't get to Lao and he can't get to Elenora. Oh, look at this. 19. He hits. Rio's got an AC of 18 for 3 points of damage. So Reo is at 20. So we were fully healed because we rested before we entered the dungeon. However, this is not like the 15-minute work day. So you can only benefit from a rest once in 24 hours. So even if we are wounded, we can't just, because we just rested. We could leave the dungeon and just wait outside, but that could still mean we encounter stuff. And now the sorcerer. So he's got the Scorpion Sting spell, which has a range of near, so 6 squares. It deals d6 damage, and whoever is hit by it has disadvantage on the next attack. So he moves forward a little, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to here. So this does not block line of sight, and he casts Scorpion Sting, which is a DC 11 +2. He casts +2. It's a DC 11 spell roll or casting roll. Oh, and I forgot to use dodge for the kobolds. I gotta remember that one, because those two, they would have dodged actually. Okay, next time. So he invokes the spell versus Lao. 8. No, 8 + 2 is 10. The spell fizzles and he loses the spell because monsters just cast as PCs do. Oh, that was not good. 8 + 2. failed casting roll. The spell fizzles. And this concludes the first round of combat. Now I can just switch this around. We start a new round with us, the heroes, getting the first activation. So Elenora, she will activate from where she's at and shoot at this guy because even though he is in melee, she's got a pretty clear line of sight, so no disadvantage. However, I will remember to use dodge for this guy. 3. She attacks +8. That is 11. That is a miss. He doesn't even need to use his dodge. It's AC 13. So, okay, so she activated. She stays where she's at. No, she moves a little closer because of the range of the light. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now the kobolds. Or one kobold. This guy activates, attacks Lao. Ah, 13. Lucky, but because it's +0, because it would have been 6 points of damage, but he's got AC 15. Okay, so Lao immediately retaliates, however, against this kobold who has not acted yet. Unarmed strike, no, masterwork short sword, sorry, +4. 10 +4, that would be a hit, but this kobold is using his dodge now. So now I'm using this cube to indicate that this kobold has used the dodge ability because it's only once per day. Yeah, so that's the thing. He dodged. And he now immediately retaliates and attacks Lao with the spear. You will regret that. 3, nope. Our turn. We only have Reo left. So Reo, he attacks this guy even though he has already acted, but he already used his dodge. So this is, I gotta do a little metagaming here, tactical, because of this war of attrition. So I'm not going to waste my attack on this guy who will then just dodge. So I will attack this guy who has already dodged so that we take him, hopefully, off the map. With my silvered masterwork dagger, +8. Take this, you little bugger! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I roll a 2. So 8 + 2, that is 10. That is a miss. Okay. Yeah, so we have all activated, so the remaining kobolds, they can act. This guy will attack Lao because of his unarmored look. But lucky I rolled a 2 because it would have been again 6 points of damage. This guy attacks Reo. AC 18. No, I roll a 5. And now we have the sorcerer, who is not a sorcerer anymore. What does he do? You know what? He moves up 1, 2, 3 and attacks +1 for 1d4 with his staff against Lao. Oh no, 14 + 1 is 15, but luckily only for 1 point of damage. So Lao is at 10. Okay, next round or new round. Flip this around. We get the first turn. Alright, so Lao, let's see. We got to take one off the board. He attacks first the kobold that has dodged already, that has already used his dodge. To hopefully, I only need to hit +4 Masterwork Short Sword. Yes, 11 + 4 is 15. They got AC 13. He can't dodge anymore. He only has 1 hit point. So we take him off the map. He comes with a short sword. Now I can still move. I will move. I move 1, 2, 3, difficult terrain. 4. I move here. Okay. But now the kobolds. The sorcerer actually activates and attacks Lao with +1, 1d4. Lucky, 7 + 1, that's 8. That is not enough. Okay, our turn. Okay, so everybody's still got their dodge. So Reo will just activate and attack this guy in front of him. Let's just see if I hit. I roll a 7 + 8 Masterwork Dagger. Yes, that is a hit, but he dodges. He sidesteps, but uses his dodge. Okay. The kobolds. He immediately retaliates. No, +0. Okay, Last of Us, Elenora. Elenora, she moves. Little metagaming again. She moves 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to here, attacks the kobold who is dodged, but this time disadvantage because Reo is sort of in the way and they're in an engagement. Disadvantage. Gotta take the lower one. 7 + 8 longbow. That is 15. That's enough. He only got 13. He already dodged. So even though with disadvantage, dead. But now we have all acted and there are 2 kobolds left. This kobold, he moves 1, 2, 3 and attacks Lao. +0, nope. And the last kobold activates and it takes Reo. Nope, 11. All right, next round. Turn this around. Lao first. Attacking this kobold here. Masterwork Short Sword. $15, yes, but this kobold dodges. He hasn't used his dodge yet. Now he's got his dodge used. And he immediately retaliates. You will regret that, human! With his little spear. Nope, I rolled a 6. +0, that is not enough. Okay, our turn. Elenora, 1, 2, difficult terrain, 3, shoots, straight line, no disadvantage against the dodged kobold. Yes, critical hit, which is a total waste because they only have 0 hit points, 1 hit point. Out of the blue, the arrow pierces the throat of this kobold. She stays where she's at. The sorcerer, he is a little nervous now. He moves 1, 2, 3, 4 behind Lao and attacks. +1, but only 1d4 damage. Oh, no. And yes, he has another spell by the rule book, which is like the Spider Swarm spell, but playing solo, this is too much of a hassle for me to track. I was just using the Scorpion Sting spell. He misses. Okay, now we still got Reo. Attacks this kobold here. I hit 19, he dodges and retaliates. 6, no. All right, next round. This time Reo first. Trying to take out this guy who has already used his dodge. 5 plus 8. That is 13. That hits exactly. AC 13. That's enough. He can't dodge anymore. Reo. Okay, now we got one kobold left, and he's making a run for it. And runs towards this door and heads through the hallway. And he uses a double move. Okay, so we are not going to chase him because we don't want to rush head first into unknown, uncharted terrain. This is too dangerous. Better to regroup and take a minute. So we regroup in the middle of the room and we do a quick look around. And Reo goes, "Everybody all right?" And Lao goes, "I just got a little scratch, but nothing serious." Elenora goes, "I'm fine. I stayed back." And Reo goes, "Well, I only got a little scratch myself, but I think it should be fine." Okay, so what do you say? There are 2 doors. One door leading north and one door to the east. The kobolds, let me make the directions here. The kobolds went through the northern door. What do you say? I think so. Lao goes, "I think we should take the eastern passage. Maybe we can find a way around a possible kobold ambush or reinforcements or find something useful. I wouldn't go north if we know we probably run into opposition there." And Elenora goes, "Well, I agree with Lao. To me, it's all the same. We could just as easily go through the eastern door." All right, then let's do it. So we move to the eastern door. Okay, so by my framework, it is pretty simple. Every door leads to a hallway. Hallways are straight and always lead back to a room. So like I said, this is very simple and abstracted. It focuses on traps, monsters, and treasure, and not so much about the minutiae of dungeons, like if there's a right or left corner, or if it's a wooden or a stone door. So there's like a wooden door here. It is not locked. I could actually roll if it's locked, but I will do this later in the dungeon. and it leads into a corridor. And if you enter a corridor, you roll a d6. On a 1, you encounter a wandering monster, and 2, 3 means there's a trap in this corridor. 4, 5, 6, it's just a corridor. And you can read this here in the book as well. Okay, so we first listen, of course, at the door. We give it a listen. So Elenora, with her sharp senses, she's an elf, listens at the door. I'm going to roll, and using her wisdom, and I say it's DC 15. Oh, and again, I'll give her advantage because she's an elf and a ranger. DC 15. Yeah, natural 1, but I got advantage, so 14 plus 2, that is 16. So let's roll. If there's a wandering monster in there, she might hear something. On a 1, there's a wandering monster. No. And I will also have this count as the trap corridor roll. So a 5 means also no trap, meaning the corridor is actually safe. So we will proceed with caution and head into the next room. And by my framework, it's a little bit abstracted, like being cautious, looking for traps, secret doors, and etc. means including possible encounters. One room is like 20 minutes in-game time. So this also includes the time of carefully traversing the corridors. So after 3 rooms, we would need a new torch, because torches in Shadowdark, they're good for an hour. Okay. And I'm not playing real time here. Let me see. I need something here. This, okay. All right. So we carefully make our way through this hallway and look for traps. We end in front of another door, which is also closed but not locked. And again, give it a listen. Elenora. DC 15. Yes, I roll a 17. So now, just because I went through, not the hassle, but I created also these dungeon encounters in the original Defenders of the Shadowlands game. For exits and stuff, I used the framework, but for the room content, I will use this one right here, because I think there's some interesting things in there as well. So let's give it a roll to see what's in there, to see if we can if we hear something. And the treasure can only be found in the last, or at least not in the first level, maybe in the second. All right, an 18. An 18 is... Ooh, okay. So I am going to read it, and this is, I think, because dungeons are danger level 6 locations, and this is actually balanced for a party of 4 characters, or not balanced, but as a benchmark I used 4 characters. So I'm going to read to you. Ahead of you lies an ancient tomb. Scattered bones litter the floor, and the chamber is filled with about a dozen coffins. You can open them up to search for treasure. 50% treasure chance. Use level 6 treasure tables, so that's great. If you do so, roll 1d6. On a roll of 1 to 4, you face a combat encounter with 3 whites. Okay, so we don't hear anything yet, because the whites, they will only appear if we open the coffins. Half a dozen, no, about a dozen coffins. But this is of course 50% total, not per coffin. That would be a little much. So yeah, Elenora listens at the door and she goes, well, I don't hear anything. Let's be careful. So she opens the door, we enter. So this is an ancient tomb. Ancient tomb, room 2, and in parentheses I put 18, which is the entrance of the frame, not the framework here, the game. But now we still have to determine. So that was the content. So I'm not going to roll for the monster content here, but I do have to roll for the exits. 1d3 minus 1 exits from this room. 1d3 minus 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a 2 minus 1. That is 1 exit. Okay, so 1 exit leads out of this room. I just put it here to the south. Doesn't matter. And there's like the dozen coffins. So we see this ancient crypt, this ancient tomb with the bones littered on the floor. And well, even though I do know now that if I open the coffins I might encounter a white, the thing is, Reo, he has the Thieves Guild background, so he's basically a thief, and we're looking for treasure. And of course there is the possibility that whoever is buried here, that they were buried with some valuables, like maybe golden amulets, rings, maybe a finely crafted weapon that is still in good shape, or that includes some gemstones in the handle. So I'm saying, of course, we will open up the coffins. All right, so let's see treasure first. D6 decider, 50-50. So 4, 5, 6 is favorable. Roll high. Is there treasure? Please let there be treasure. Oh, of course not. It's a 2. So no treasure, but because we opened, we might face, on a roll of 1 to 4, we might face a combat encounter with 3 whites. Ugh. Please roll high, 5 or 6. No, indeed. So we opened up one of the coffins to look if there's anything valuable in there, and suddenly there's this noise of stone scraping across stone as 3 lids from the other coffins are slid open. And let me see, is there a picture here of the whites? Probably. Right, no. A pale, armored, undead warrior with sinister intelligence. So 3 whites, 3 level 3 monsters, which is actually by the, like I said, this is danger level 6, and danger level 6. And where is the one-on-one monster thingy? Oh, it's in here. Let me get this to the whites. So yeah, I copied the Shadowdark one-on-one monster. So I have a party. Oh no, it's a danger level 6, which means the average party level should be 6, which means one-on-one monster, 1 level 3 monster per party member. And we are 3 party members, so 3 level 3 monsters. The whites are exactly level 3, so this is a fitting encounter, but I think pretty nasty. Okay, yeah, whites. Let me get their stats ready here. I might have to run. All right, directly out of the rule book, AC 14. AC 14 and 15 HP. One attack plus 3 1d10 and 1 life drain. Attack 1 bastard sword and 1 life drain means actually they get 2 attacks. Otherwise, I think it would, because here it says, and I'm already, there's again ink leaking out someplace. I don't know what this is. So here it says bite or frost breath, which means it's either or. Here it says bastard sword and life drain. So this is pretty nasty. Damn it. So it is a plus 3 d10 and 1 life drain plus 3. And then we have to make it's 1 d4 con damage. Death if reduced, d4 con. And this is why we got the silvered weapon. They are greater undeads, immune to moral checks, only damaged by silver or magical sources. They have chainmail. So this is why I bought silvered weapons, that we can at least have a chance of beating these guys. Okay, whites. So let's just take this Draugr here, and this skeletal champion makes also a great white. And then we just take the skeleton. Doesn't matter, we know they're whites. Just 3 undead. And let's see if we are able to. I have a bad feeling about this. I think, let's see if we can find a fitting map with the tombs. Not really, actually. This is like the best dungeon map. I will just use this, but switched around. So we are approaching from the east. So from here, again, Reo with the torch in the back. So let's just say these are coffins, and out of the darkness, or we can see these whites. Okay, but honestly, I think, let me check my stats here. I mean, I got my silvered weapons. That's great, and I have a pretty good chance to hit. The thing is that Elenora, she does not have silvered arrows and a silvered ammunition, so her longbow won't do her any good. So she's got to get into melee. She's got a masterworked silver sword, but only attacks plus 3. Lao has his masterwork silvered short sword. That's okay, plus 4. And I got my masterwork silvered dagger, which also, thanks to my bonus, deals sufficient damage. So we are able actually to wound them, but hit point wise, Elenora is at 19, Reo is actually at 20, so we are actually better in the hit point and the armor department as well. Lao is a little weak, but I'm afraid that the con drain, because it's an addition to attacks, that this would be a problem. So what do I do? I think I better, so we get the first turn. So let's see, we can't really see them, or yes we do, because we heard that there's something going on as we heard this stone upon stone, and so we see movement in the dark, and actually I am tempted to just retreat and try to lock the door. Maybe they are confined to this crypt, and just first yeah, you know what, so these whites, they come closer, and Reo goes, this doesn't look too good. Let's see if we can, let's just lock them in here. So we quickly, they come so quickly, we step back out of the door, and Elenora and Lao, they press themselves against the door to keep it shut, while Reo, with my thieves background, do I have thieves tools? I hope. No, I don't have thieves tools, because I just have the normal crawling kit. I wanted to try to lock the door with my thieves tools. Damn it. All right, so I gotta improvise, which means I get disadvantage. So I'm improvising with my dagger, and no, I go, Elenora, give me one of your arrows. So she gives me one of her arrows. I try to use like a combination of arrow and dagger to try to lock this door. It is a DC 12, but I get disadvantage, and it's dexterity. Disadvantage, dexterity, DC 12. No, it's an 18 and a 1, and I got disadvantage. I gotta take the 1. Okay, so the arrow breaks, but that's not a problem because I don't track ammunition. It's just for fluff. And damn it, I can't get it. Quick, you know what? Maybe Reo, he's got a crowbar, because in his crawling kit, every crawling kit, I replaced, I think, the spikes, the iron spikes, with a crowbar in my crawling kit, because I think this is more useful to force open doors or whatever. So, and now I'm using the crowbar actually to try to bar the door with the crowbar to wedge it in there so that the door won't open. So, but of course I gotta leave the crowbar there. All right, so this time that'll be strength, but this time I'll get advantage. DC 12 strength, because the crowbar is exactly the right tool. DC 12, oh, no. Okay, 7 and 3. So the crowbar just won't hold. I can't get a grip, and let's ask the Oracle if they actually try to come through the door. I give it slightly more than, it's 55%. So 55% chance of a yes that those whites actually want to follow us. 55%. Maybe they are confined because of the magic that animates them to this room might be possible. 55%. Ah, lucky. 86. So actually, they won't follow us. And no twist because no doubles. Okay, so yeah, so I'm like, ah, damn it. And they block the door, but there's no push against the door. So it seems as if these whites, as if they're sort of like tomb guardians and have no intention or interest in coming out of there. So we, okay, thankfully we go back to the entrance chamber to see where we should go from there. I put 3 whites here in my map that we still haven't defeated. Okay, so looking at the time, my time is up. I'm at 50 minutes. I will leave it here and continue, but because I want to keep a little variety in my channel, I'm taking a little break now from Defenders of the Shadowlands for 1 or 2 episodes and continue my Star Wars game, and then I will switch back to Defenders of the Shadowlands so that there's some variety for those of you who also like my Star Wars game. All right, so this is it. I hope you have a wonderful remaining week and a wonderful start into the weekend, and you will probably see another video from me as it is my posting schedule on the weekend. Until then, yeah, I hope you all stay safe and stay healthy. I thank you for watching. Do like, subscribe, comment, and do all this YouTube stuff. And don't forget to check out my products on Drive-Thru RPG. So until then, bye-bye.